Michela De Martino. I'm originally Italian, but I've lived in Britain and in the United States for more than 20 years. In Italy, well, I have been living in Italy for the past 12 or 13 years, and I am an English teacher. I teach English in primary school, but also I am a Cambridge teacher, which means I teach to like teenagers or adults. I love my job and I'm very busy all through the years, and I am a fantastic student. I'm sure you are as fantastic. What can I say about me? I do a lot of things, and last summer, for the first time, I took 15 of my students abroad. We spent 2 weeks in Edinburgh, in Scotland, and it was a fantastic experience. The girls I took were like teenagers, age 15 to 17. And they did very, very well academically. They were all in the top classes, and they had a great time in the afternoon, in the evening, mixing with the other international students. They were mainly Spanish, Russian, Hungarian, Polish, and other Italians, of course. So it was nice. And the experience I had last summer, it has been really good for me. So I am thinking to do it again next summer. I'm sorry, but I can't hear you.
I heard that there are many collaborations among the European countries. You can travel anywhere in Europe and you can collaborate with the school. So that's what you are doing exactly.
Yes, and actually in Europe, we celebrate the International Day of Languages, which is going to be on the 29th of September. And before the COVID, I always cooperate with the middle school in my town, which is the school where my daughter used to attend.
Oh.
And we stopped for 2 years due to COVID, and last year they did it but online, and I didn't cooperate with them. This year the school called me again, so after our meeting I'm going to school to help them.
Okay.
And in Italy, middle school is 3 years. The students are age 11 to 13, 14. And it's interesting because the main, the protagonists are the living student, the older one, like 13 years old, because we expect their English to be like strong enough to do something. And then they are going to help the first year one student, age 11, which they just approach the language like in academical way. And also the middle one, the second year one. So it's going to be very nice. And every year we choose a theme. This year is very interesting to me, the theme, because it's about the color with the combination between the colors and the 5 senses. So it's nice. And the school is going to have, we are going to prepare that, but the celebration is going to be actually on the 29th of September. So it's going to be next week on Thursday. And in the morning, I believe we are going to have a connection with some European schools. I think it was from Romanian, and I'm not sure the other country yet. But in the afternoon, we are going to have a big party with food and drinks prepared by the parents, yes? And we are going to invite the parents, because sometimes the parents know how important is the English language, but sometimes they are not really aware of it. So we need kind of to train the parents as well. So to see that with a good teacher, and if you study, And with the right time you dedicate to the language, you can achieve big results. And this is what we want. We want as many as students we can to say, look, you need to be very good at it because it's for your future. Because you can't expect a person to know all the languages in the world. So, like you live in India and you are Indian, I don't speak Indian, and you don't speak Italian probably, but we still are friends. We can communicate and help each other and work together. And with you guys, you are teenagers, right? All teenagers, yes. And you can have Italian friends. And how the key to be friends is the communication. And luckily, or maybe not so luckily, but we have the English language that mostly, we all study, and it's fantastic to have friends all over the world.
Yes.
And we are all different and unique. And I believe this is the beauty of a friendship.
That's
Different
also beauty
is
being
good. Yeah, I believe different is good because I can learn from you guys, and I hope you can learn from me too.
Okay, we are so excited to interact with you. We have a very limited time, and my kids, they have to join another session with the other subject teacher. So they are so keen to ask the questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, I am ready.
Yeah. Yes. On the one.
Hi, ma'am. I am Sai Surya.
Hello, darling.
I am studying 7th grade. I am 12 years old. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, and watching TV. My future ambition is to become a police officer. Can I ask a question, ma'am?
Yeah.
What subjects are taught in school in Italy?
Okay, the subjects. Yes. Well, are you like a middle school or high school? Middle school.
It's a high school here. You can explain about the middle school and high school also.
Okay. Interesting question. Okay, in Italy, the school system, it's like that. We have like 5 years of a primary school, 5 years. And then we have 3 years of middle school or secondary school. And then we have 5 years of high school. So generally, students in my country start at the age of 6 and finish at the age of 19 when they go to university. The subject, well, the common subject in all high school are definitely Italian, history, maths, English, and then according to your career, the career of your choice, you have a typical subject. For example, if you study classicals, you have to study ancient Greek, Latin, philosophy, history, but still math, science, chemistry, and physics. Yeah, so there are a lot of subjects. And for example, high school, if you study more like a scientific subject, you still have to study Italian, Latin, history of art as well, English, of course, as well as chemistry, I don't know, science, biology, maths. So it's very, they have like 13 subjects. 13, it's quite hard, but they do it.
Okay.
And what are the subjects you study?
What subjects? First, you explain the languages, 3 languages.
We have learned at school 3 languages. Telugu is my mother tongue. Hindi is my national tongue. English is my international tongue.
Yeah.
We learn 6 subjects: Telugu, Hindi, English, Maths, Science, Social Science.
Okay. Okay. And which one is your favorite?
English, ma'am.
All right then. Okay, good.
Next.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Subramanya Srinivas. I am 7th grade student. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. My life ambition is to become an IAS officer. Can I ask a question, ma'am?
Yes, please.
What is the role of English language in Italy?
Well, yes, it's quite important actually, but well, we study English on paper. We study English curriculum at school since the age of 6, but unfortunately, in primary school is not taken very seriously. This is all over the country, yeah. Then, of course, you have parents that really believe it's important, so they invest in private courses. So what happens is when you go to middle school in a class of 20, for example, you have children that are very strong at English and other children are not as strong as. But definitely in Italy, well, people started to understand how important it is. And I speak for my student, for my private student. My private students are very, very good. I mean, they take English exams, Cambridge exams, and they really, really get good results every year. But this is due to hard work and dedication. I do the best I can, but I must say they really love having lessons with me. And this is important part of my job, you know, to make them love what I teach.
Thank you, ma'am. My name is Vedant Dixit. I am studying 7th grade. My hobbies are reading books and playing kabaddi. My life ambition is to become a police officer. Can I ask you a question, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Are public schools in Italy free?
Well, yes, public schools are free. Parents only pay at the beginning of the school term a little fees, like a contribution, and it's not very expensive. The thing is, we don't have a lunch at school. We go to school 8 o'clock, we finish 1:30-ish, more or less. We have a little snack and the parents have to provide 4, but we don't have lunch at school. The contribution, as I said, it's not a lot of money. In Italy is about between 60 euro or 80 euros. I pay 80 euros for my daughters, 80 euros each, which I don't think is a lot of money. But books only in primary school are free. We have to buy all the materials, like books, exercise books, pens, pencil, everything we have to buy, we have to pay for, we as a parents. So the education, let's say it's free, but the materials and the schools, and if we want to go on school trips, we have to pay.
Thank you, ma'am.
How good is the education system in Italy?
How good is the education in Italy? How good is the education? I tell you something. I think it's really good. Students are pushed to study, and also it's good because we have like 13 subjects to study, and they are all compulsory. I tell you something. I have 2 daughters, age 18 and 16. So they are all in high school. My eldest one attends a classical high school, and the youngest one attends scientific high school. And I believe they are very prepared, because when they go to Europe to study during the summer, they are put always in a top class. So I know their English is very good because they have been studying English since a very young age. And they also have attended English school before the COVID when they were young. But their preparation in philosophy, literature, chemistry, maths, science, physics, English lit, it's real history, it's really, really good. So I believe it's good education. Of course, the system need to be, let's say, improved a lot. But I am grateful for the teachers they have. I believe a lot that the teacher makes the lesson as well, you know, because you, of course, you need to have a good class, but the teacher, it's the main thing. The teachers need to engage with the student, need to communicate the passion they have for this subject. And for my girls, I believe all the teachers are fantastic. They are prepared, they love what they do, and I can see this with my girls. So I believe the system in Italy is good. Needed to be improved, of course, but the system, yeah, needed to be improved. But the teachers, I can't complain, because as I said, every year, my girls, well, we stopped for 2 years due to COVID, but every year my girls go to England or Scotland for 2 or 3 months. They go to study there. And my eldest daughter last summer went to France for 2.5 months to study French as well. And she was put in the top class. Of course, her French was good, but she studied in French. So it means that in Italy, she learned a lot, and I'm pleased with that.
So, Mikla, other than advanced education, which education system in Europe is your favorite?
Well, I believe, okay, for example, I am familiar with the British system or English system, and I love it. I love it, especially high school, because high school, well, there are like 2 points of view, my friend, because, for example, from what I know, British system, for example, high school is very selective. I give an example. If you choose to study classical subject, the last 2 years, you study only classical subject, as well as if you want to study more scientific studies, you concentrate only on 4, 5, maybe 6 subjects. Whereas in Italy, it doesn't matter what you study, is a 13 subject. Now, what does that take me? Takes me that in Italy, you study more. When you finish at the age of 18, you have a general culture as well. And this is good. But on the other side, students get a bit stressed, because you can imagine one thing is to concentrate on 5 or 6 subjects for all year, and another matter is to perform well in 13 subjects all the time. It's not easy, but they do it. Now, how they do it, I don't know, but they do it. So I don't think one system is better than the others. What I can say, it's, for example, in Scandinavia, for example, from what I know, it's a better organized. And for better organized, I think government invest money. You need to invest money. You need to invest money in buildings, in structures, computers, extra hours, extra teachers. So, for example, in Scandinavia, government invests a lot of money in education, as well as Germany, as well as Holland or Denmark or France. I am sorry to say that unfortunately, in my opinion, comparing to these countries, my government doesn't invest enough money. And we can see from the desk, the chairs, the school, the board, computers. I'm not saying that my government does invest, but in my opinion, does invest enough. Comparing to the other European country, the ones I mentioned before. And this is a fact. It's not my opinion, it's a fact. I have friends all over Europe and I travel in Europe a lot. I have lived in many European countries, so I know. And the thing is, when I say this in my country with the headmasters, teachers, and the thing is, if you don't know, you don't have an opinion, you don't know. But I have been to this country and I have classes like in Scandinavia, they have classes of 15. Some of our classes are of 27. Now, how can you communicate with 27 all in 1 hour? It's difficult, isn't it? In my opinion. And the results, it shows that some students don't have interest anymore because the teacher doesn't pay enough attention. Not because she or he doesn't want to, but because the time. So this is comparing to the top countries we have in Europe. And I believe Scandinavian and actually Finland in particular is a system I'm familiar with. I have a lot of friends and teachers friends in Finland, and according to the research, Finnish system is supposed to be one of the best one we have on earth.
My name is Sri Lakshmi. I'm studying in 7th grade. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. My life ambition is to become a doctor. Can I ask you a question, ma'am?
Okay.
Does Italy give free education?
In Italy, yes, the education is free. We only pay a fee at the beginning of the school term. It's like they call it a free will contribution, kind of. It's not a lot of money, but we needed to pay for the books. Not in primary school though, but middle school and high school, we have to pay for copybooks and for all the materials.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, my darling. You are welcome.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Pooja. I'm studying 7th grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, and watching TV. My life ambition is to become a police officer. I would like to ask a question, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, please.
Could you please tell us something about Pisa Tower?
Yes. It's funny because Pisa is one of the city of Tuscany. I think one of the most beautiful region we have in my country. I don't know, are you familiar? I'm sorry I didn't prepare a PowerPoint, but I didn't have time.
No problem.
I apologize for
Explain
that.
morally, no problem.
Are you familiar with the sculpture? I mean, with the tower, how it is? Okay, I'll tell you a little bit about the tower. Okay. The Tower of Pisa, of course, is located in Pisa, which is a beautiful town in Tuscany. And it's located in Piazza del Duomo, or Piazza dei Miracoli, which is like Miracle Square, they call it. It's from 1987, has been declared by the UNESCO Patrimony of Humanity. The tower, well, it's very ancient and was built in 3 stages. When they start to build it, at the 3rd floor, when they built the 3rd floor, the tower started to inclinate it a little bit because it was too heavy. And this because the earth, the soil was unstable and muddy, was not strong. So the soil couldn't take the weight of the tower. So the construction stopped for many years. Then after they started to build it again, because underneath they put some stones, but it was not a good idea because the result was a total disaster. So they stopped again, and they built again after many years. They realized that they couldn't prevent the bending of the tower. In fact, it's not straight, but it goes a little bit like this as angle. So of course, the fact that the soil is not stable, it's quite muddy actually, it's not a good thing. But if we think that over the century, over the years, in Pisa, there have been many earthquakes when the earth shakes, because the soil is muddy, so the kind of the building could move with the earthquake or could follow the movement of the earthquake. This prevent the tower to fall into pieces. So it was kind of a good idea. The structure is a circular bell tower. The height is 185 feet, so it's quite tall, and it's made with white marble. Inside there are steps, all circular steps that go up to the top, that take you up to the top. The question could be, what can I see inside it? Well, nothing. It just takes you on top, but believe you me, it's worthwhile, because once you reach the top, you can see all the view of the town, and it's breathtaking. It has 7 bells, because originally the tower was built to ring the bell, so it has 7 bells that from the top have the ropes that just fall down to the bottom. Why 7 bells? They recall the 7 musical notes of the scales. Another thing is like a very Romanesque architecture with arches and columns. It's beautiful. Actually, I think I will be going there very soon in November when I get like a few days off. And for us in Italy, for schools, it's very common as a school trip to take the children there. Like children age 13, 14, and they have like 3 days, all 3 or 4 days, and they go all over Tuscany.
So thank you so much again, and we look forward to see you again.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, guys. Thank you very much.